Hi friends, it's a beautiful warm day and I'm sitting near the pool, keeping cool and enjoying the sunshine. When it's hot, swimming and playing and floating in the water are some of my favorite ways to keep cool. Do you like playing in the water when it's hot outside? There are lots of ways we can have fun playing in water. We can run through the sprinklers on the grass or water the plants and get some of the water on ourselves too with a hose or a watering can. And sometimes we can go swimming in a swimming pool. Can you think of any other kinds of water that we can play and swim in? Sometimes I like to go to a creek and splash and play, and sometimes I go to rivers or lakes or even to the ocean. What kind of water do you like to play in the best? Do you like playing and splashing where it's shallow and you can stand up, like on the steps of a swimming pool? Or do you like swimming in the deeper water? Would you like to read a story with me about swimming in a pool? Do you think my book is a real story or a pretend story? That's right, this is a pretend story. How did you know? Have you ever seen pigs swimming when you go to a pool? I haven't either. Do you know how real pigs stay cool when it's hot outside? That's right, they roll in the cool mud. This pretend pig's name is Tuck, and he's not so sure he likes going swimming. Let's see if we can figure out why. Tuck in the pool. Tuck in the pool. There's Snyder, his toy spider. Tuck, it's time to go to swim class, said Tuck's mom. I'm busy, said Tuck. Do you see where Tuck is busy? What are you busy doing? Asked his mom. I'm showing Snyder the dark. Tuck crawled out, clutching Snyder, his toy rubber spider. I'm not going to swimming, he said to his mom. Why not? She asked. They make you get your head wet so water gets in your ears and it feels awful. You'll get used to that, Tuck, said Mom. And water gets in your eyes too, said Tuck. And you'll get used to that too, said Mom. Now hurry up, your sister's all ready to go. But Tuck just stood there looking at Snyder. Then he had an idea. He patted his spider and he put him in his pocket. I love swim class, said Bunny, Tuck's sister, on the way to the pool. The kickboards are my favorite part. What do you like best, Tuck? I like going home the best, said Tuck. Joyce, the swim instructor, blew her whistle. Hop in, class, she shouted. Who Tuck has? Tuck put his spider on the edge of the pool and gave it a quick pat. Then he inched his way gingerly into the water. Let's see you all do 10 bobs, said Joyce. The class bobbed up and down. Tuck kept his ups high, but his downs only got his chin wet. The students held on to the side of the pool and kicked their feet. Then they hung on to the kickboards and splashed across the pool. Tuck patted Snyder 2 more times when he thought no one was looking. Your eyes are waterproof, said Joyce, as she gently pulled Tuck along in the water. Just blink them when they get wet. But Tuck couldn't bring himself to try. Now I want you all to hold onto the ladder, take a big deep breath, and go underwater for as long as you can, said Joyce. Tuck waited while all the other pigs took their turns. He felt scared. Once his head had gone under accidentally and he'd swallowed some water and it made him cough. What if that happened again? Tuck, said Joyce, it's your turn. No, thank you, said Tuck. Come on, Tuck, you can do it. Tuck held tight to the ladder. Then, not caring if anyone saw, he turned to give his Snyder a pat. He's gone, Tuck squealed. "Who's gone?" said Joyce. "Snyder, my toy spider, he was right there." Suddenly Bunny called out, "Tuck, there it is," and she pointed to the bottom of the pool. "Snyder!" yelled Tuck, reaching deep into the water. But it was too deep. So he took a big breath, closed his eyes, and dove down. The water closed over his head, but all he could think about was saving his spider. Tuck groped around the bottom of the pool, but he couldn't find Snyder until he opened his eyes. "Hooray!" Tuck popped up, clutching Snyder. "Wow, you were under for 6 seconds," said Joyce. Tuck was sure it felt more like 600 seconds. He blinked the water out of his eyes, and he beamed with pride. Joyce blew her whistle. Class was over. "Guess what?" said Tuck when his mom got to the pool. "I went underwater, and I got some water in my ears, but it came out." "Oh, Tuck, I'm so proud of you," said his mom, giving him a great big hug. The next day it was time for swim class. Tuck made sure Snyder was safely in his pocket. "What if your spider falls in the water again?" asked Bunny. "Then I'll just have to save him again," said Tuck. Snyder didn't fall in during the lesson, and Tuck only needed to give him a pat one time. After the lesson, when Tuck and Bunny stayed for free swim, Snyder couldn't seem to stay out of the water. Doesn't that look like fun? They're playing spider catch. Did you like that story? Did you figure out why Tuck didn't like going swimming in the pool? Do you ever feel nervous or worried when you try new things? Do you remember what helped Tuck to feel brave? That's right, his toy spider Snyder was so special to Tuck, and having his spider with him gave him the courage to try new things, even going under the water. I think Tuck's swim teacher helped him too. She was so kind and patient and encouraging. Tuck's swim teacher helped to keep Tuck and his sister Bunny and all of their friends safe while they were in the pool too. That reminds me, there is one super important rule that I want to make sure that you always remember. The number one most important rule whenever you play or swim in the water is that you always need to have a grown-up with you. Can you show me your finger, your number one pointer finger? And say it with me. Are you ready? The number one most important thing is a grown-up. That's right. Anytime you're near water, I want you to always remember to have a grown-up with you. A grown-up is an adult, like a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa or a lifeguard, sometimes a babysitter. It doesn't matter if you're playing in a tiny little pool or a big swimming pool, or if you're by a little creek or a big river or by a lake or the ocean. You always need to have a grown-up with you before you go near the water. Having a grown-up is the most important way to stay safe. There's some other things that help us to stay safe too. Can you think of something that helps keep your skin safe from the sun when you're going swimming? Before I go swimming, I always make sure I put on my sunscreen. Sunscreen helps to keep our skin safe from the sun. I also make sure that I take my hat with me when I'm going to be out in the sun and going swimming or playing near water. Do you remember what Tuck had that helped keep the water out of his eyes? These are my goggles. They help to keep the water out of my eyes when I go swimming. There's one more thing that I always make sure I take when I'm going on a boat or going to swim in a river or a lake or the ocean. It's something that helps me to float in the water. Do you have an idea what it is? That's right, it's my life jacket. I always put my life jacket on before I get in a boat or go swimming in rivers or lakes or the ocean. And I hope you'll always remember that rule too, to help you float and stay safe. I hope you have lots of fun swimming in the water and keeping cool this summer. Don't forget, the number one most important rule that you always need to make sure you have before you go in the water. Do you remember what it is? That's right, a grown-up. Stay safe and have fun swimming, friends.